Hey everyone, after watching another excellent video from Duncan today, I wanted to expand on his Mr. Doodoodeedee concept a little more by exploring a related concept, the authority principle, and how this also relates to the Slater case. In Duncan's example, he gives an excellent demonstration of it, with his teacher and a class of young children. Go check it out if you haven't already. I've put the link in the description. Let's talk about a powerful psychological concept, the authority principle, and why we follow experts. This principle explains why we tend to follow people who are perceived as authorities. It's a fundamental rule of persuasion and plays a crucial role in everyday decision-making. What is the authority principle? The authority principle is based on the idea that people in positions of authority have more knowledge and power. As a result, we are naturally inclined to follow their lead, trust their advice, and even comply with their instructions without much hesitation. How does it work? There are three key factors behind the authority principle. One, learned behavior. From a young age, we are taught to respect and obey authority figures. Parents, teachers, and police officers shape our understanding of who we should listen to. Two, cognitive shortcuts. Instead of analyzing every piece of advice we receive, we use mental shortcuts. We tend to trust people who look like authorities, whether they wear a uniform, hold a certain title, or display confidence. Three, perceived authority. Simply believing that someone is an expert increases their influence over us. This is why professionals like doctors, professors, and YouTube creators are more persuasive than the average person. Examples in everyday life. We see the authority principle in action all the time. A child obeys their parents' warning not to touch a hot stove. People are more likely to cross the street against a red light if they see someone in a suit doing it first. A medical doctor's opinion holds more weight than a random person's, even if they say the same thing. The authority principle is a powerful tool in persuasion, marketing, and leadership. When used ethically, it helps build trust and influence. So, the next time you're making a decision, ask yourself, am I following because of real expertise, or just because someone looks like an authority? The authority principle and the Slater case. Now, how does the authority principle relate to the Slater case? Duncan's classroom example highlights how, once people form a belief, they struggle to change it, even when the facts they based it on are uncertain or even untrue. The example also demonstrates the authority principle as the teacher was acting from a position of actual authority over the children. This made the children a lot more likely to accept that it was indeed Mr. Doodoodeedee that changed the smoke detector, as the teacher said so. Both principles apply directly to the Slater case. For example, many cling to the idea that Ophelia saw Jay walking, or that he had to be exactly where his phone last pinged, despite the uncertainty of these claims. This effect is amplified when combined with perceived authority, where people are influenced not just by those with real expertise, but also by those who appear to have authority, in this case YouTube and TikTok creators covering the case. Authority principles and the role of content creators. I want to focus specifically on YouTube and TikTok creators and how this principle relates to them. The moment a creator produces content, they begin to build authority. Their credibility is shaped by various factors. Subscriber count. More followers equal more perceived credibility. Articulate presentation. If they sound intelligent, people assume they know what they're talking about. Use of technical jargon, throwing around terms like satellite imagery, phone pings, IP addresses, or VPNs, makes them seem more knowledgeable, even if their understanding is surface level. A great example of this is Rich and Ruby, who frequently reference complex technologies, satellite imagery, drone detectors, phone pings, giving the impression of expertise, even if the average person can't verify their claims. Closeness to the case. Another way a creator can boost perceived authority is by appearing connected to the case or its key figures. Wax has direct contact with Warren. Chris Tenerife and Luggy emphasize their closeness to the family. Haley Comet has become close to the George family, a different case, but parallels to Chris and Luggy's relationship with key figures. In the Slater case, this proximity strengthens their credibility, but also raises concerns about impartiality. When a creator is too close to their sources, they may hesitate to challenge narratives. For instance, Central Podcast's relationship with Ayub meant he had to navigate carefully. Asking the wrong questions could have cut him off from this connection. A truly neutral approach, like a live interview, could have helped maintain transparency. Professional background and authority. The final factor in boosting authority is education, experience, or work in related fields. For example, TikTok Bobs and Bits initially gained credibility discussing forensics, until it turned out his background was in forensic archaeology, not criminal forensics. This distinction was lost on many, reinforcing how people equate any related expertise with absolute authority. The authority principle plays a huge role in shaping public perception of the Slater case. The combination of perceived expertise, proximity to key figures, and technical jargon makes certain creators seem more credible than they might actually be. It's a powerful reminder to question sources, evaluate biases, and remain critical of how authority is presented in the digital age.